Imagine getting arrested just because you made a funny face at a dog. Sounds impossible, right? Well, in Oklahoma, that might just be a real law. The cast of Tulsa King is about to find out how weird laws can get, and trust me, it's going to be hilarious. From rules about what you can't do with chickens to laws that tell you where your donkey can't sleep, things are about to get wonderfully ridiculous. These stars might be tough on screen, but let's see how they handle the wild world of okay, that's a law. The camera opens on a bright, fast-paced montage, flashing shots of Oklahoma streets, vintage no dogs allowed signs, and clips of the Tulsa King cast laughing in disbelief. The energy is playful and quick. The game is simple. A series of absurd, unbelievable laws will be read out loud, and the cast must decide whether each one is real or fake. It sounds easy, but soon everyone realizes that the line between reality and absurdity is much thinner than expected. The first law hits the table. In Oklahoma, it's illegal to make faces at a dog. Laughter fills the room instantly. Someone bursts out, "Who comes up with this stuff?" Another jokes, "Guess I'm already a criminal then." But as the laughter fades, the tension grows. Is it real or fake? Each person hesitates, second guesses, and whispers theories. Maybe it's an old law from when people were superstitious, or maybe it's completely made up to trick them. The guesses come in. Some say fake, others swear it must be real because it's too specific to invent. Then the reveal drops like a punchline. It's real. The entire cast loses it, a mix of shock and amusement echoing through the scene. But what makes this moment shine isn't just the laughter, it's the realization that sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. The audience watching can't help but laugh along, imagining someone actually being fined for pulling a goofy face at a barking dog. The show takes that strangeness and turns it into comedy gold, blending the charm of the cast with the absurdity of these forgotten laws. Each cast member reacts differently. Some shake their heads in disbelief. Others lean back, wiping away tears of laughter. While one tries to imagine what the original lawmakers must have been thinking, as the game continues, the pace builds like a roller coaster. Every new law sounds crazier than the last. One actor leans in, suspiciously eyeing the next card. Another mutters, "This one's gotta be fake. There's no way that's real." The air is thick with playful competitiveness, but everyone's still smiling. This isn't just a trivia challenge, it's a hilarious dive into the weird corners of real history. By the end of the round, the cast has already learned one thing: never underestimate how strange real laws can be. The audience feels that same mix of surprise and amusement, realizing how these tiny, almost forgotten pieces of history reveal just how weirdly human society can be. And as the laughter fades and the next round begins, there's one shared thought lingering in everyone's mind. If making faces at dogs is illegal, what other nonsense is hiding out there in the law books? Just when everyone thinks they've seen the strangest of the strange, the next law comes up, and it's even more ridiculous. The card flips, and the words hang in the air. In Georgia, it's illegal to eat fried chicken with a fork. The room goes silent for a split second. Then chaos. One of the cast members bursts out laughing, clutching their stomach. Another shouts, "Wait, what? You mean you could get arrested for using manners?" The laughter is uncontrollable now, loud, genuine, and completely infectious. The guesses start flying again, and everyone's talking over each other. One person argues, "That can't be real. No state would make that a law." Another one interrupts, No, that's exactly why it's real. It's too dumb to be fake." There's a sense of friendly chaos, the kind that only happens when everyone's having genuine fun. The personalities clash in the best way. Someone is laughing so hard they can barely talk, while another is dramatically pretending to eat imaginary fried chicken with their hands, exaggerating every movement for the camera. And then the reveal comes. It's true. Completely, unbelievably true. The laughter turns into shock again, mixed with pure disbelief. Someone shakes their head and says, "There's no way this world is real anymore." The narrator's tone in your imagination feels smug, teasing, "Yep, You heard it right. In Gainesville, Georgia, there's an old law that says you can't eat fried chicken with a fork because fried chicken is meant to be eaten the proper Southern way, with your hands. The whole cast just loses it again. Some pretending to call their lawyers, others joking about having broken laws in every state. But beneath the laughter, there's something fascinating happening. Each weird law becomes a time capsule, a tiny window into a forgotten mindset, a different world where lawmakers were trying to control the most random things. The cast starts to catch on to this pattern. Between jokes, one of them points out, maybe these laws made sense at the time. Like someone actually did this, and they had to make it stop. Another chimes in. So you're saying one person used a fork on chicken, and the whole state lost it. The entire group laughs again, but there's a truth hiding inside that humor. Every absurd law probably started with a real story. The next law hits the screen. And it's even wilder. In Oklahoma, you can be fined for sleeping on a refrigerator outside. For a moment, no one says a word. Then a voice breaks the silence. Who is sleeping on a fridge? Outside. Another actor dramatically gasps, pretending to faint. The guesses go around again, and by now, everyone's suspicious of everything. One person says, "That sounds fake, too crazy even for Oklahoma." Another smirks, "Nope, that's real." You know it's real. We live in the weirdest country ever. When the truth is revealed, that it's real again, the reactions are priceless. One actor falls back in their chair, another facepalms, and someone mutters, "I give up." The laughter doesn't stop. The camera would cut between their faces, the law written on the screen, and a photo of an old rusty fridge sitting in an open field. The absurdity of it all feels like a sketch written by fate itself. Now the rhythm of the game is set, the cast is fully invested. The laughs come faster, the reactions get bigger, and the challenge feels personal. They've entered a world where the laws of logic don't apply, just the laws of somewhere that once decided sleeping on appliances was a public issue. There's something strangely satisfying about seeing tough, confident actors completely undone by a list of the weirdest rules ever written by the end of this section. The cast is no longer just reacting, they're competing to guess the next law, throwing mock arguments across the room, pointing fingers, and defending their guesses like it's a matter of pride. The more ridiculous it gets, the more real it feels, because now everyone watching is in on the joke too. Viewers can't help but play along, shouting their own guesses at the screen, realizing how much fun it is to be part of the madness. And as the laughter settles for a moment, one of the cast members leans forward with a grin and says, "Okay, this game's officially insane. What's next?" A law about donkeys. The narrator's tone in your head pauses, teasingly dramatic, like they're saving something big for the next round. The screen might fade to black for a split second, just long enough for the audience to wonder what could possibly top that refrigerator law. They have no idea what's coming next. The next round isn't just about guessing, it's about surviving the laughter. Because in this world of okay, that's a law. Logic is illegal, common sense is guilty, and the only rule that truly exists is expect the unexpected. The laughter is still echoing, but the game isn't slowing down. In fact, it's just getting started. The cast settles in, still wiping away tears from the last round, and someone mutters, "There's no way they can top the fridge thing. They're wrong, completely wrong." The next law flashes up, bold letters glowing on the screen. In Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathtub. For a second, everyone stares. Total silence. Then, like an explosion, the entire room erupts. Someone falls back in their chair. Another doubles over, gasping for air between laughs. Who comes up with this? One yells, "What kind of donkey bedtime crisis happened in Arizona?" The jokes come in fast. Maybe someone was running an underground donkey motel. No, imagine being the cop writing that ticket. "Sir, we found your donkey in the tub again." The room is alive with that perfect mix of disbelief and amusement. But then, the inevitable question returns, real or fake? At this point, everyone's lost faith in their instincts. One person laughs and says, "It has to be fake. There's no way anyone would actually write that down as law." Another smirks, "Nope, I'm betting it's real." This show has taught me never to underestimate human stupidity. The reveal lands, and it's glorious. The lie is 100% real. The laughter peaks again, and the expressions are priceless. Some are laughing so hard they can't breathe, while others just shake their heads in disbelief. The narrator in your mind delivers the explanation like a plot twist in a mystery film. Back in the 1920s, a rancher's donkey used to sleep in an old bathtub. Then one night, a flood swept the tub and the donkey miles away. After rescuers struggled for hours to save the animal, lawmakers decided the best solution was to make bathtub sleeping illegal. For donkeys, the cast is speechless, then bursts into a final wave of laughter that could fill an entire episode. It's moments like these that make the game so addictive. The cast isn't just guessing, they're reacting, storytelling, and turning absurd history into pure comedy. Between laughs, one actor leans forward and says, "Okay. Now I'm convinced every law ever made was written by someone who was just really tired." Another replies, "Or by someone who really hated donkeys." The group can't stop smiling. The vibe feels effortless, like friends hanging out and discovering the weirdest corners of the world together. The next law pops up. In Alabama, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church that makes people laugh instantly. The energy resets. Everyone's grinning again, ready for another round of madness. One actor rubs their chin, pretending to think deeply. "Wait, fake mustaches were that big of a problem?" Another adds, "Maybe it was a holy mustache war." The laughter was too powerful. Everyone starts debating, tossing out wild theories. Some think it's fake. It sounds too cartoonish. Others argue it's real, simply because it sounds too specific. When the truth comes out, yes, it's real. The entire table erupts again. Someone throws their hands up and says, "At this point, I'm scared to breathe wrong in any state. The rhythm of the game is perfect now." Every law is like a punchline, every reaction an explosion of laughter. The chemistry between the cast members shines, the way one person can't stop laughing while another pretends to be the serious lawyer analyzing these laws like they're studying for an exam. There's teasing, friendly competition, and endless one-liners. The fun feels spontaneous, natural, and unstoppable. Then comes a quieter moment, a short pause where everyone catches their breath. One actor, still chuckling, says, "You know what's crazy? People actually voted on this stuff." Like a group of grown adults sat down and agreed that donkeys and bathtubs don't mix. The others nod, still smiling, and someone adds, "Makes you wonder what kind of weird things we're doing today that'll be laws in 50 years. For a brief second, the laughter turns into reflection. That's the magic of the segment. It's hilarious, but it also reminds everyone how bizarrely human these things are. But before the moment gets too serious, another card is drawn. The next law reads, "In Oklahoma, whaling is illegal." The table goes quiet again. Then someone bursts out, "Wait, there's no ocean." It's a perfect setup for another round of uncontrollable laughter. The absurdity is back in full force. Who are they catching whales in Oklahoma? One jokes, "Maybe in the swimming pool." Another adds, "When the truth is confirmed, it's real again." The laughter spills over, unstoppable. By now, it's clear this isn't just a game. It's chaos disguised as trivia. The laws are ridiculous, the reactions are real, and the energy is electric. The cast is no longer trying to win, they're just trying to survive each round without crying from laughter. And as the round winds down, one actor wipes their eyes and says, "We've gone from dogs to donkeys to whales. What's next? Chickens with passports." Everyone laughs again, and the camera in your mind would slowly zoom out. Capturing the scene of total, beautiful madness, the game has become something bigger, not just about weird laws, but about the shared joy of discovering how hilariously strange the world can be. And as the music swells and the next round looms, the audience watching from home knows one thing for sure. If these laws are real, anything could be next. The room feels alive, like the energy has reached its absolute peak. Everyone's still laughing about whales in Oklahoma, but the narrator in your head cuts through the noise with a teasing tone. All right, Tulsa crew. Time for the bonus round. The lightning round. No hints, no second guesses, just instinct. The cast straightens up, half furious, half hysterical. They're ready. Or at least, they think they are. The first new law flashes across the screen. In Texas, it's illegal to sell your eye. The laughter stops for a heartbeat. Everyone looks around. One actor leans forward, squinting at the imaginary card. Wait, sell your eye. Like the actual eye. Another replies, maybe it means. Like your eye in art. No, that sounds worse. The guesses are wild, overlapping, and completely off track. Someone shouts, that's fake, no one's buying eyeballs. Another smirks, you'd be surprised, man. Texas has laws for everything. The answer drops, it's real. The reactions are priceless. One actor clutches their face dramatically. Guess I can't pay rent with my left eye anymore. Another says, only in America could this be a problem. The narrator's voice teases again. Looks like the score's tied. Let's see who breaks the tie or breaks their brain on this next one. The next card slides in. In Alaska, it's illegal to wake a sleeping bear to take a photo. The whole group loses it instantly. Okay, that one's just common sense. Someone shouts. Who's out there like, hold on, let me poke the bear for a selfie? The laughter is uncontrollable again, but the curiosity wins, real or fake. The reveal lands, and of course, it's real. The table erupts. One person jokes, I can't even be mad. That's just natural selection prevention right there. By this point, the game has become less of a challenge and more of a collective meltdown. Everyone's laughing before the cards even appear. The next one reads, in Florida, unmarried women who parachute on Sundays can be fined. The disbelief is instant. Someone yells, what is going on in Florida? Another responds, everything, always. The group guesses wildly, some rolling their eyes, others trying to keep a straight face. When it turns out to be true, there's a mix of groans and laughter. Imagine explaining the ticket to your parents, one actor says, pretending to hold an imaginary fine. Sorry, Mom, I jumped out of a plane on a Sunday. Guess I'm a criminal now. At this point, the entire group has lost all sense of what's real or fake. One actor covers their eyes with their hands and says, I don't even care anymore. Everything's real. Every word ever written is real. The others laugh so hard they can't breathe. It's pure chaos, but the kind that feels effortless, natural, and fun. The chemistry among the cast members feels like lightning in a bottle. You can tell they're not just reading lines, they're genuinely enjoying the absurdity of it all. Then comes the final challenge. The narrator sets the tone with mock seriousness. All right, final law. This one's for all the glory and eternal bragging rights. The room quiets down, everyone pretending to focus, but their grins give away the excitement. The law reads, in Oklahoma, it's illegal to make glue out of dead snakes. The silence that follows is golden. Then someone blurts out, what? Another laughs so hard they almost fall off their chair. How is that even? Who would? Why snakes? The jokes explode from every direction. Was someone out here making DIY snake glue kits? Is that how they built the roads? I have so many questions and zero answers. The guesses are all over the place. Some are sure it's fake. Others say it has to be real just because it's too specific. The answer comes in, it's fake. The table erupts into cheering, groaning, and playful shouting. One actor stands up triumphantly, finally. I got one right. Another fake bows. We've reached peak insanity. The energy in the room feels electric, like a comedy show that never wants to end. As the laughter fades, the narrator's tone softens just a little. And that's how the Tulsa King cast survived the weirdest laws in America. From donkeys in bathtubs to chickens without forks, it turns out the truth really is stranger than fiction. The camera in your imagination pans over the cast, still laughing, still shaking their heads in disbelief. One of them wipes a tear from their eye and says, "If I ever get arrested." It's probably for smiling at a dog or eating chicken ramen. The others nod in mock agreement. Still giggling, there's a final round of lighthearted teasing, fake awards, exaggerated celebrations, playful debates over who won. The cast jokes about making their own Tulsa law, something like, "It's illegal to leave the set without laughing." It feels like the perfect ending, genuine, chaotic, and full of warmth. The camera would fade out on that laughter, with upbeat music and flashing text, "Okay." That's a law, Tulsa edition. And as the screen darkens, the narrator's voice returns one last time. Smooth and teasing. Think you could have done better? Drop your answers in the comments, and remember, always check your local laws. You never know what might be illegal. It's the perfect wrap-up, funny, absurd, and unforgettable. The kind of ending that leaves the audience laughing, smiling, and maybe even Googling their own state's strangest laws. Because in a world this weird, you don't just play the game, you live it.